Hey guys, this is my playthrough of the Civ 6 Gorgo challenge made by someone who calls himself Zondagskind, who plays Civilization 6. You can find the rules to the challenge right now, although I did change the parameters a bit to allow random AI opponents and barbarian clans. Originally this was going to be a video of his Babylon challenge, but the recording for that one came out a bit horrible. With that aside, I hope you guys really enjoy this video, and be sure to check out Zondagskind's stuff if you get a chance. The sun rises over ancient Greece. One day, we will be a mighty empire, but today we are just a simple tribe of warriors. Seeing coffee to our west and bananas to our south, we figure here would be a prime location to settle. This is Sparta. We sent our warrior band to scout out the west and find another city nearby, Granada. We know that only one can rule these lands, but we cannot do anything against them, yet. It's at this time we unlock the ability to pass laws down upon our subjects, and thanks to our unique system of governance, we practice both urban planning and God King, or Queen in our case. Looks like our scouting warriors have found a barbarian tribe to the north. Hopefully, that can be taken care of quickly. Now would be a good time to expand our reach, and the lands to the east seem a prime location for our second city. It seems our warriors are in a tough spot dealing with the barbarians in the north, but I knew the Spartan spirit would prevail. We founded Corinth as our gateway to the east, although troubled waters lie ahead. This may have been what inspired our turn to organized religion in this period. It seemed our faithfulness paid off, rewarded with a natural wonder in the Northlands. But a new barbarian outpost was founded near Corinth, and our newfound divine spark gave us the courage to deal with it. That divine spark manifested itself in a hoplite, made during the ancient era, but despite our best efforts, to the glory of Sparta. And Corinth rebelled against our authority. It seems that Sparta stands alone. Immediately, our hoplites got to work putting Corinth back under our submission. But that division alone wouldn't be enough to turn the rebel city to our command. But while constructing more of our troops to help into the war effort, we came across our first outside contact, Queen Gitarja of Indonesia. Our explorers report that only one major civilization lay on this island, so once again, Sparta stands alone. Finally, reinforcements arrived in Corinth. It took long enough, but it seems our divine spark found its prophetic roots in John the Baptist, founding the all-important religion of Seabass. Unfortunately, the front in the east was not going well, but a new wave of hoplites may have been enough to turn the tides. To further manifest our divine spark, we adapted a classical republican form of government. But in this dark time, we found respite in the arts, constructing our first Acropolis. We founded the city of Athens next to Lake Kretba, and by honoring the gods in this way, they granted us the majesty of a golden age. We're invited to the World Congress, despite only knowing one other civilization. Thankfully, we managed to make our Acropoli easier to construct, but with the slog of the Corinthian rebellion continued. Are we worthy to be Spartans if we can't crack one measly city? We met Chief Ambiorix of the Gauls, and after weakening the rebels defending Corinth, we finally took the city back under the Spartan crown. Now that our empire is whole again, we took some time to regroup and work on infrastructure. We took vassalage over Ayutthaya, who helped increase our cultural production. As we found a barbarian tribe in the north, we used their weapons against them. It was at this time our first legendary author was born, Geoffrey Chaucer. His writings brought us into contact with the Ethiopian and Mongol civilizations. Step 1 is converting all our cities to sea baths to gain our pilgrimage bonus, and declaring war on Granada. The assault on Granada really couldn't have gone much worse. The medieval era ended with Granada still standing, but big plans and high hopes for the future of our nation, even if Sparta would bear this path alone. This era was marked by the coming in contact with Emperor Tokugawa of Japan. The campaign in Granada was a complete failure, but we held our divine spark to follow the path of culture. Due to our focus on Granada, we didn't notice the growing barbarian sentiment near our capital. Our representatives met with Chief Poundmaker of the Cree, and while we were friendly with most other civilizations, they seemed to dislike us. I was not a fan of how much science and culture they had accumulated. The Granadan campaign was abandoned to deal with the barbarian insurrection near our capital. But to honor our divine spark, we began our largest architectural project yet, the Taj Mahal surrounded by 6 districts. But even meeting Shaka Zulu could not help us, because we had strayed from the path the gods had laid from us, plunging us, alongside most of the world, into a dark age. Our northern territories, including the valuable Athenian territory, broke ties with the Spartan crown. Some would argue this is our recompense for not following the divine spark. However, loyalists managed to escape Athens before it fell, but they had no place to resettle. We were forced to sell many of our assets to fund the defense against barbarian forces, who are rapidly industrializing at this point. With that money, we bought a Guard Imperial unit. Soon, this legion would become the saving grace of Sparta. Single-handedly, the Guard Imperial quelled the insurgency. The loyalist settlers founded the city of Phocea in its furthest reaches of our isolated lands. That's when we met our beacon of hope, President Teddy Roosevelt. Our efforts were rewarded with the Taj Mahal, and our people believed we would never enter another dark age with it in tow. Our newfound religious calling succeeded in sending a mission to Indonesia, starting a religious war that would last centuries. Once again, we followed our divine spark, and with it in tow, Sparta may not have to stand alone. There was no better way to celebrate our golden age than to fulfill our long-standing destiny, our crusade against Granada. This time, we were prepared, and our assault was spearheaded by the very Guard Imperial that quelled the barbarian attacks against Sparta. It was tough battling, but our corps were ready to handle it. Within a few years of battle, what was rightfully ours came into our grasp, leaving Greece as the sole power in these lands. As a celebration, another monument to our gods, we also swept the rebelling Athenian cities back into our reign. The Spartans were finally doing what they had done best: fighting. Our Guard Imperial deserved a name after their hard work, so we named the entire unit Jonesy. Jonesy, the MVP, would take another city-state, this time Muscat. We founded the outpost city of Knossos to increase trade to the eastern lands, and as Muscat was taken, Greece was finally primed to enter the world stage, admittedly, after everyone else. Let's take a look at our current place in the world. Our best bet for Spartan domination is either a cultural or religious win. We have potential for culture, but our tourism rate is far beyond everyone else's. And our quest for the divine spark made our faith output high, but yet again, we were far behind in that game. Our best goal was to not relapse into a dark age while everyone else falls victim to it. That's the situation we found ourselves in at the dawn of the atomic age. Of course, we would receive no help in achieving this because Sparta stands alone. So we accepted democracy and went all in on our national parks. Jonesy went south for combat training, and our Taj Mahal gained its last surrounding district. Still, it seems Spartan glory was not in the cards. A major war broke out against America and its allies, and Japan and their allies. Civilizations crumbled under Dark Ages. America nuked Japan. It seemed there was no space left in this world for Sparta, a nation that had strived itself on militarism, and became a cultural superpower instead. And as the rest of the nations rocketed towards space, they left Sparta behind. The divine spark led our people astray. Sparta stands alone in a barren, empty world.